Hi dear friends. Let's begin episode 22. After the arrival of Iran army, King Khosrow was angry of their performance. He did not want to see them. The commanders met Rostam and asked him to be their mediator. Rostam met the king. He told the king, "My Majesty, I understand your anger." Tus and other commanders did not act well. But they did not act weak on purpose. They are all ashamed and want to compensate. Please forgive them. They have been serving their country for a long time. They deserve your mercy. Khosrow thought for a while and accepted to forgive the commanders. Tus met the king again. He told the king, "Give me one more chance to compensate for my mistakes." The king accepted. Furubors, king's brother, was in love with Farangees. He asked Rostam to tell about this love to the king. Rostam told Khosrow that your mother is a young woman. Furubors wants to marry her. King said, "If my mother agrees, I agree too." Furubors and Farangees talked and Furubors promised her to be a good husband and they married. On the other hand, Tus was busy preparing an army for a new battle. When the army was ready, they moved toward a river which was the border between Iran and Tooran. Tus sent a message to Iran and told him to be ready for a new battle. Iran was not interested in a new war. But he had no other way. Iran and his army moved toward the river. Iran saw Iran army is bigger than his army, so he sent a letter to Afrasiab and asked for more troops. Gudars understood about the letter and informed Tus. Before they start the war, Iran's brother, Human, came front. Tus also came front. While the two commanders were talking, Give interrupted them angrily and told Tus not to talk to Turanians. Give said, "These people do not understand the language of logic. They just know the language of war." Tus and Human started the battle. It was a hard battle. Both men were strong warriors. Finally Tus pushed Human down. Turanian soldiers helped Human to escape. The weather was getting dark. The two armies stopped the war until the next day. The next day the battle continued. Tus had elephants in his army. So Iranians were acting better in war. There was a wizard in Tooran army. Human asked the wizard to play some tricks on Iran army. The wizard went up a mountain. He put his hands up and suddenly huge snow fell on Iran army. One Iranian commander named Roam understood about the trick. He went up the mountain and killed the wizard. The snow stopped. But Iranian army was tired. Tus ordered his soldiers to retreat temporarily. Iran army went toward the mountains. That night Tus and Gudars were tired and sad of all the events. Tus told Gudars, "We cannot win the war with this troop. We need help." The next day when Tooran army came to the war zone, they did not see Iran army. Human told Iran, "Now that Iranians retreated, it is a good time to attack them. They are weak and we can beat them easily." Iran told Human, "Do not act hastily. They may have ambushed somewhere, we have to be careful." Human and his soldiers started looking for Iranian army spot and finally he found that they were in the mountains. Human sent a letter to Iran and Iran sent soldiers to surround the mountain and not let Iranians to have a path. Tus sent a letter to King Khosrow and asked for help. That night when Tooran army was resting in their camp near the mountain, Iranians raided and killed a lot of them. On the other side, when King Khosrow received the letter, he asked Rostam for help. Rostam and Furubors decided to join Tus' army for help. First Furubors moved and Rostam wanted to join later. That night Tus saw a dream. He saw Siavash. He was happy. Siavash told Tus, "Don't worry, you will win this war." Tus woke up. He was surprised of the dream. On Tooran's side, Afrasiab sent a letter to Iran and told him that Chinese army is joining them for help. Iran was very happy. Iran went to welcome the Chinese army and gave his army's responsibility to Human. There was a strong warrior in Chinese army called Kamoos. Iran told China's king, Iranians are in the mountain and they are all important commanders. We want to captivate them, not kill them. China's king asked Iran, be honest with me. Is there a way that the everything turns and Iranians can win us? Iran said, there is mighty man in Iran, called Rostam. Now he is not with Iranian army, but if he joins them, winning the war would be difficult to us. Kamoos heard their conversation. He mocked Iran and said, I am not afraid of Iranians. I can kill them all. On Iran's side, Bijan was watching the area from top of the mountain. He saw Iran army is coming to them. He informed Tus. They were happy and more hopeful now. The next day the two armies faced each other again. Kamoos came front and said, I want a rival to fight. Give came front but he could not win and fell down. Tus came to help Give but he could not beat Kamoos too. That day the battle ended and the two armies went back to their tents until next day. That night Rostam also joined Iranians. Iran army was very happy. That night Iranian commanders talked about tomorrow's war tactics. The next day armies faced each other again. Ashkbuz from Tooran army came front and Roam from Iran army came front. They had a tough fight and Roam could not win and came back. Rostam was angry of Roam. He went toward Ashkbuz. Rostam threw an arrow to Ashkbuz's horse and the horse was killed. Then he threw another arrow to Ashkbuz and he was killed too. Turanian army saw the scene and they were shocked by Rostam's power. Kamoos asked Iran, who was that man? Iran said, he might be Rostam. Kamoos said, I swear to kill him. The next day when the two armies faced, Rostam and Kamoos faced each other. Rostam told Kamoos, I am your death angel. Kamoos laughed. He believed too much in his skills and he was very arrogant. While they were fighting, Rostam threw a rope around Kamoos and tied him easily with the rope. Then he pulled Kamoos toward Iran army and Iranian soldiers killed Kamoos. End of episode 22. Thank you for watching. See you soon.